Hello, MELS 601. This is Dr. Crawford. We have now 2 weeks under our belt. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow evening. I want to welcome you to Gardner-Webb University. You were embarked upon a wonderful adventure, and I am looking forward to working with you these next 15, 16 weeks, giving you through both the app sell and the app tell, which will come later. I just wanted to share with you a few things that will hopefully help make things easier for you as we work together and go through this course. And so when you log into Web Connect and you log into Blackboard, this is the screen that you will see when you log in. And one of the things that we want you to know is that everything is laid out for you in multiple places. So that it should make it easier for you to find information and be able to navigate the course very easily. It may look intimidating at first, but I guarantee you 3 or 4 weeks in, you'll be moving around the screen like you are professionals. So when you log into Blackboard, you will log into our course session. And you will be presented with the course overview screen. A lot of information here, but again, learn to focus on the bits of information that you need right then and there, and it'll make life a lot easier for you. So again, on the course overview page, you'll see several things like the basic course introduction. Here is a little blurb about me and my background. This is my 21st opening of school, and certainly opening like no other. I've never opened, or none of us have, in a global pandemic, and I'm still learning how to figure that out. I have been a principal at all 3 levels, elementary, middle, and high school, and currently I serve as the principal of a Spanish immersion elementary school in High Point, North Carolina, as part of the Guilford County school system. My contact information is also here in the Meet Your Instructor. I do work throughout the day, sometimes 13, 14 hours, even in elementary school. And so even though my primary email address is here at Gardner Webb, I may not be able to get back to you if you send me an email till later on in the afternoon, or even early evening, when I go in, log on, check emails from Gardner Webb, and maybe do some grading if you have submitted assignments early. This is my personal cell phone number. If it's something that is absolutely urgent, please feel free to shoot me a text, and I'll be happy to respond back to you. We can arrange a conference that way if you need to. Scrolling on down to the course overview page, you will see the course syllabus. Here is the grade point total, so you can keep track of your points throughout the semester to make sure that you are on track. I shoot for nothing less than A minuses or A's, so you'll be able to arrive at that. Also, as we continue to scroll down to the course overview page on Blackboard, you will see some links that I keep permanently posted. The first one is the permanent link to our for our Tuesday Zoom class. So when Dr. Hamilton and I meet with you, this is the link that you will use for that meeting. Also, for the coaching sessions, of which you've already had one, we'll have another one this week. Here is the recurring link for that on the Thursday session, so you don't have to remember what's the link or how do I get in. You can just come here to the course overview page, scroll right down, and both those links are right there for you. Gardner Webb is also providing a couple of APA sessions. They did transition over to APA 7th edition. The first change in a while. It took me 7 years to get my doctorate, and I think the entire time we were using APA 6th, and I got my doctorate in 2013. So APA 6 was around for a long time. The biggest change with APA 7 is for academic writing. They are allowing use of the first person active. And that's for those of you, and all of you should have a master's degree already. That will be a little bit of a change for you, because if you were like me, used to the first person in academic writing, which is kind of beaten out of me. So even as the instructor, I'm learning how to grade with that nuance in mind. So um, here are two links for some APA sessions. You only have to attend one. And even if you've got a master's, or even if you have a doctorate, I would definitely recommend you attend one of these APA sessions. Finally, and you have heard this mentioned before, but if you would please, one of your first assignments, if you haven't done so already, go ahead, click in here, and go ahead and take care of your enrollment verification activity. It's required for the online course. It's one of those things you can just do, get it out the way, and make sure that you are all properly registered and rock and roll and ready to go. Then some next steps to make sure that you order your textbooks online. Here are the texts and the authors of those texts, so you can get those orders so you can have those. I believe the bookstore should have them ready to go for you, but if not, they shouldn't be too long, too far from coming. Also, here is the link for the Blackboard orientation modules. Again, just another tool to help you orient yourself to Blackboard and orient yourself to how to navigate this space. Finally, one of the things that Gardner Webb does very well is they've got a very, very robust online library. And here is the link that will take you to the Dover Library. This link will be your friend as you are doing research, trying to pull articles. It'll prevent you from having to go 3 or 4 different places to find information. But I would definitely go ahead and make this link permanent for you so you can get back and forth to the library. So that's the main page here on the right on the course overview. As we are moving throughout the semester, you will live also with a lot of the links here on the left side of the screen. And again, one of the things you'll learn is that Gardner Webb, we actually value redundancy. We don't ever want you to feel that you are lost or you don't know where things are, because things are going to be in several places, so you never have to guess. And so on the left side of your screen, you will find a lot of the links that we will be dealing with. So for instance, if you're looking for the course syllabus, that is right here, the 601 course syllabus, just click that. And then click that again, and here you go. Laptop's being a little slow this morning. All right, so while that's loading, you'll also see again, I apologize, folks, just being a little slow this morning. There we go. They say watch part never boils, so I guess watching a file download. Reminds me of driving in LA. You put in something in a map and it's like, 30 miles, 55 minutes, and then 25 miles, 55 minutes, then 20 miles, 55 minutes. Wow, that was really slow this morning. Probably because I'm on my jetpack as well, so hopefully this will not be as long for you as you are downloading items throughout the throughout the term. Okay, so while that is downloading, um, some other items here that you will see. I have not yet put you in Zoom Teams. I will do that likely at the end or by the end of this week, maybe by even the Thursday class. Um, just want to wait till the classes settle down some when drop ad is done. Um, like we had a student drop last week, and so once the um, overall class roster has settled down, I will put you in Zoom Teams. Over here, you will see the link to a Zoom tutorial. And I would definitely recommend that you go through that Zoom tutorial. We'll come back to that. I'm not sure why it's taking so long. And again, when you hit that, this will take you to getting started with Zoom and then some Zoom Live training. Um, this will be important for all of you to go through because at some point between now and the end of the semester in December, each of you can and should practice hosting the Zoom meetings with your Zoom team. You'll have at least four, I think 5 opportunities to do so. So it'd be good for all of you to gather that level of proficiency. Again, down here, at some later on in the semester, you'll be working on case studies. And again, this gives you the directions, the case study scenario 1, um, the case study scenario with the Zoom reflection links. One of your first Zoom sessions will be a Zoom discussion about the case study, and you do the same thing with Zoom discussion 2. So all those materials are here under case studies. You've got some APA formatting materials that are here. Again, another link to the Dover Library and the APA 7th edition guide there. I would definitely pursue purchasing your own copy of the APA 7th. As a matter of fact, my APA 6th is still on my active shelf, although I'm just getting ready to retire it. And I got my doctorate in 2013. So it's a book that I have kept around a long time. During this term, let me go there, let me go back. So during this term, you will complete 2 competencies. You will complete the APSL, which is the process that we're going to start this week. And then once we complete the APSL, we'll start working on the APTEL, which we will start working on after we complete the APSL. And once we get that all turned in. So again, everything for both assignments is in here and in order. As we mentioned, as Dr. Hamilton mentioned last week, here where it says APSL turn it in check, or for that matter, APTEL turn it in check, do not do anything with this button until we tell you to. By the time I tell you to go ahead and submit the APSL to the APSL turn it in check, and the same thing with the APTEL, you and I will have tweaked your paper so that it is as good as I think we can make it. My goal is to get you through the first time. Again, you have to have a minimum score of 3 on each assignment to pass, and I'm looking forward to getting the scores that we got last term, 3.5s and 4s all the way down for all of the students. So we will go back and forth. We will tweak. I may ask to tweak one paragraph, change something here. But as long as you are following those directions, you'll be fine. And by the time I tell you to submit it to the Turnitin check, then the last stage of final submission will be a Turnitin and then just go ahead and submit it, because I know at that point we have made that assignment just as good as we can make it. Insofar as the app cell, and again, the app tel is concerned, you've got a couple of items here on the left you can also deal with. The first one is a template. So again, with the template, you've got the helpful hints, you got an example of a bare minimum paper that is submitted here. Look here, another link to the Dover Library. PLC norms. These are just some materials that professors such as myself, Dr. Hamilton, have submitted over time to help you through these processes. So these are just materials that you may use, you may not, but we put them here, and we'll do that for each week that we think we have things that are relevant for you to look at. One thing I want to point out again, when you look at the APSL template, and that handbook is still loading. Wow. Let's see what happens with the template. Okay. So I want to make clear again that with regard to the template, you do not make any changes to the template. So even here, you leave evidence 1 there. You leave analysis and action plan for student learning. That's what APSL stands for there. You leave this there. Obviously, you put your name there. Then to make clear, if it's yellow, you're going to be adding text, and then you take off the yellow highlight. If it's red, then you're going to be add text, and you want to make sure that you delete it if it's red, and that's because you're substituting actual text there. So again, school profile, just take off the yellow highlight and put your school's name after the colon, and then it gives you exactly what the instructions are, or the description. Again, you leave this there, you do not take this out. With instructions, again, you leave this there, you do not take this out. Where it says prompt 1, you leave this there, you do not take this out. And then bang, you take off the highlights and PLC research, and then in red you're going to be adding the research you found on PLCs. And again, of those 3 sources that you have to have, before needs to be 1. PLC selection, PLC meeting, again, unhighlight those, and then you actually write up the section here under selection, and write up the section here under PLC meeting. Okay, that'll be task 1. Task 1 will be what your draft of task 1, excuse me, will be what you will be submitting this coming Saturday, September 6th. This will be your first draft. I will take a look at it. You'll start doing peer reviews. We'll get to that in a second. And then you'll start picking ahead to task 2. On the 13th, you will submit the final copy of task 1, and then your draft of task 2. So think in terms of always kind of working ahead for the next day or the next assignment. And once we get started and you get a handle on things, you'll find that it will flow pretty quickly. One thing I want to say, I want to just mention, you never have to ask me if you want to turn in an assignment early. You are more than welcome to do so. I will try to grade throughout the week, just so that I can, as you all saw, my little handful of a 3.5-year-old, he's pretty active, and so my weekends are pretty much taken up with chasing after him, whether on foot or on a bicycle. Um, so I do like to, I'll grade throughout the week. Now, that doesn't mean I want you to submit something partial that says, hey, can you look at this? Am I on the right track? Go ahead and complete the assignment, and then I will, definitely give it a full once over, as I will do with all of your assignments. And then I will, in many cases, what I will do is I will download the assignment. I will make comments right on your paper, and then I will email it back to you, or I'll post it back to you in the Dropbox with my comments attached. This way you can address those, and I may address every single thing. I may notice that you have a problem with not indenting your paragraphs, and I may just make the notation in the first one and say, hey, make sure you go back through, reread your paper and make sure that you have indented your paragraphs, or that on your reference page that you have the right reference page format. So again, that's another reason why you want to have your updated copy of APA 7. All right. So again, we'll go through this more in depth tomorrow night on Tuesday, so you know what to do and what to expect there. This thing ever download? It did. It failed. Wow. Try again. So we'll go through that more in depth on Tuesday, and then as we go through each week. So again, you've got your format materials, you got your template. The other thing that you will begin doing are your peer reviews. So when you complete a peer review, you will submit your peer review in the peer review Dropbox. So again, this is all the tasks where you will submit the peer review. It is critical that you make sure, in addition to sending them back in the discussion board to the person you're reviewing, that you also place the completed peer reviews, which you will have two in the Dropbox for each one, so that you make sure that you get credit for having submitted this. This is the only way that I will know that you will. This is the only way that will allow me to go ahead and grade it in the grade book, so that you get the proper amount of points that you are entitled to for completing the peer reviews. Finally, through each week, again, we lay out for you exactly what's to be expected. So we are now in week 2, and you can pick on to week 2, and again, it tells you you've got the Zoom session at 9/1. I will post the link for that meeting here, as well as, again, it's also posted on the homepage of Blackboard. And then also here each week, I will put a second link. So not only we have the link to the meeting, but once the meeting is done, I will post a second link to the recording of the meeting. Well, what do you know? It finally downloaded. So this is the syllabus. It took it long enough. I apologize. So again, here is your course syllabus. This is the base one, Dr. Stedman. I will have my information here for ours here shortly. Again, if you want to know what text you have, here are those texts. The university's mission. Here are the competencies that you'll be working through throughout the course of this semester. Just some information on Netiquette, technology requirements, withdrawing, and then for your course, now again, this is an add-on licensure course, so we're assuming that all of you already have a master's, or in some cases even a doctorate. You're just looking for an add-on licensure. If you think you're in the wrong place, give me a call. We'll walk through getting you to the right place. But the two evidences that you'll work on for this first semester will be the APSL, which again is the Analysis of Action Plan for Student Learning. And this gives you the 5 tasks you'll be working on. And then the second one will be the APTEL. And these assessments, this breaks down each of the tasks of the APSL. Reflection, and the second one that you'll complete will be the APTEL, which we'll work on that later on in the semester. Again, here is your course syllabus laid out for you. Again, the APTEL is the Action Plan for Teacher Empowerment and Leadership. And again, we'll start working on that probably another 3-4 weeks once we get your APSL completed and submitted. And I apologize that it took entirely too long. So again, back to this page here, not only will we have the link to get to the session, but each week after the Tuesday session, and again after the Thursday session on the 3rd, we'll post a second YouTube link that will be the recording. So again, a lot of you ask, I can't make it this night or that night. Will it be recorded? And the answer to that question is yes. And where do you find the link? 2 places. One, I will post it to you in a announcement that I'll do on quickly. And then the link will also be here each week. So you can always go back to refer to it. So you'll have, again, multiple places where you can go back and find and look at videos that you for a class that you may have missed. Again, this gives you the reading for the week, Reuben chapter 3, and then some links here. And then again, it tells you what the assignment is. And as I said earlier, the assignment due on this Saturday, the 6th by 9, is a draft of APSL Task 1. Okay, so again, this kind of lays out for you everything that you need. And again, all of those resources that we have are also posted here as well. So that so again, this is where I send the announcement, and then they will also show up here. They will also show up here under the course page as well. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is kind of Blackboard in kind of a nutshell. It may seem overwhelming right now, but I promise as you go through the course this term, you'll get much better at navigating it, and it'll become second nature for you by the time you finish this course. And as you roll into 603 in January, it'll be old hat for you. So again, my name is Dr. Jamal Crawford. I am very happy to be working with you. This is my 4th or 5th go around with students. One of my goals that I want to focus in on is to help you bridge that gap between theory and what actually happens day to day in the school setting, which this year takes on, I think, a lot different meaning, since there are many aspects of being a principal that I'm having to learn all over again. Even things like, how do you supervise teachers when they're teaching remotely? What does that look like? What does student engagement look like when it's happening remotely? I'm having to figure out, I'm a Title I school. And so I've got to figure out how to have my annual Title I meeting virtually. And so I have a session, this Thursday afternoon on how to use Microsoft Teams and do a live event, so that I can complete that requirement of having my annual Title I meeting. So I am learning, and I'm hoping to pass on things that I learn or have learned throughout, especially this pandemic, but also in just being an assistant principal for 5 years, and a sitting building level principal for 5, 6, 7, and 8, 15 years as a building level principal. So I'm looking forward to working with you. Let me say just thank you again um, for choosing Gardner Webb. It's a great place to be. It's a great place to get your add-on licensure, and I look forward to working with you throughout these next 15 weeks and successfully completing this term. And I look forward to seeing you all later on this week.